Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And we've got a bunch of Guns N' Roses news today. So we'll talk about Steven Adler here in a bit, but let's talk about the guy that everybody cares about, and that's DJ Ashba. So DJ Ashba was doing an interview on a YouTube channel called Hangin' with Lavs. And basically, he was asked about Guns N' Roses, and he talked about the rehearsals for Guns N' Roses and how he almost didn't even join the band. So he said, at the time I played for Guns N' Roses, I did about 6 years with them. I was the guy that came in and took Slash's spot. To have somebody like Axl believe in you and give you a really great shot in life is something I'll never forget. So it's kind of misleading. He didn't really take Slash's spot because, as you guys know, Slash's guitar parts are split up. I think it was, I don't know if it was equally, but it was split up amongst DJ Ashba, Richard Fortus, as well as Bumblefoot. So he wasn't playing all of Slash's parts. So he said he got a call from his friend Katie McNeil, who's a great longtime friend. She gave him a call, and basically she was working with Irving Azoff, who was managing Guns N' Roses at the time. And she gave me a call and said, hey, would you want to audition? And DJ Ashba said, yeah, of course. He didn't really think much of it. He just wanted to go jam on some Guns N' Roses song and meet the guys, and that was basically it. And DJ Ashba talked about how he actually had met Axl several years earlier when he was working on the Beautiful Creatures album on Warner Brothers, and Sharon Osbourne walked me in and introduced me to Axl. And we're both from Indiana, so we kind of had a cool little bond that way. And he said the night before the audition, he called his manager, Katie, saying he was getting cold feet and he kind of wanted to back out of the audition. But basically, she talked him into actually going to the audition, and she didn't want him to screw her over. So he said he showed up to the rehearsal, he jammed with the guys, it was really cool, but Axl didn't show up. And every subsequent rehearsal, Axl never showed up. And it wasn't really until that they played their first concert, that's when he met Axl for the first time, or saw Axl with the rest of the band. And he said, sure enough, the lights go down and here comes Axl. That started a 6-year journey. We played a ton of shows, had a lot of fun. It's a time in my life I'll never forget and I'll always cherish. So if you guys want to see the entire interview, he talks about stuff other than Guns N' Roses, like his own business he has. So I've linked to the interview below. You guys can go listen to how fascinating DJ Ashba is. So we've got a new interview with Steven Adler from RollingStone.com. Now, a majority of this interview is actually with Steven's mother, Deanna. She's got a book out called Sweet Child of Mine, How I Lost My Son to Guns N' Roses. And a majority of the interview talks about, Steven's addiction, and a lot of it focuses on Dr. Drew's show, Celebrity Rehab, as well as Sober House, and how she was not a big fan of the show and felt like the show based its success largely on how many eyeballs were watching the show rather than how many addicts they were able to successfully treat. There is a bit in there about how Steven is actually interviewed, so at the beginning of the article, which I've linked to down below if you guys want to read it, basically they talked about how Steven was very open and broke his silence with Mitch LaFon when he did his podcast a couple weeks ago. But Rolling Stone said when they got Adler on the phone with Rolling Stone a few weeks later, he was less willing to share anything about Guns N' Roses, saying, I had the best experience last year playing with them last year. He says, I wish Izzy Stradlin was there, but it was so great since I finally got to have some closure. It was wonderful. I don't have anything else to say about it. I'm really sorry. That's all I can tell you. There's nothing to say. I literally, honest to God, I can't even tell you why I can't tell you anymore. Literally, okay, I really can't. I just can't. So that makes me wonder that maybe somebody from the Guns N' Roses camp reached out to Steven and told him to keep his mouth shut because they may want to have him involved in some of the shows that they're going to be playing this year. And I think that could be the 30th anniversary show. So as you guys know, Steven, I believe, told Eddie Trunk that when he met Duff and Slash early last year before the reunion shows, Duff made him sign a contract, which one can probably assume is a non-disclosure agreement. And under those contracts, you have to be really tight-lipped about what you say. In fact, you can't really say anything. So that does it for the Steven Adler article. If you guys want to read it, it's down below in the description box. Let's move on to our next piece of news for the day. And we've got an interview with Tracy Guns of LA Guns, and the topic of Axl and Guns N' Roses came up a bit, and he said, despite not having a relationship with former bandmate Axl Rose, Tracy has only positive things to say about Guns N' Roses and their current tour with original members Axl, Slash, and Duff. He said, I think it's fantastic, I wish they would have done it sooner, and I would like for them to put out new music. Guns expressed the importance of bands putting out new music because it validates rock and roll. So if you guys want to read the entire interview, I've linked to it down below. We've also got some more Rock in Rio 2017 news. So we knew Guns N' Roses have already been confirmed for the festival. They're going to be playing the same night as The Who, but we've had some additional artists announced. So these artists include Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, Aerosmith, Nile Rodgers with Chic, Alice Cooper, Billy Idol, The Offspring, and CeeLo Green with more still to be announced. So it's going to be a pretty eclectic group. I wonder if Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses are going to be maybe collaborating and playing a song together on stage. And as you guys may not know, Slash actually toured with Nile Rodgers with Chic back in 1997 or so. He talked about it in his book, and he actually talked about sleeping with one of the singers from the band as well. I talked about Irving Azoff earlier in the video, and I just wanted to give you guys a little recap of who they are and what their connection is to Guns N' Roses. So they, I think, are probably somewhat responsible for helping bring Chinese democracy out to the public in 2008. But then after Chinese democracy was released, Axl and Irving Azoff got into a bitter legal battle that was eventually settled out of court. So basically what had happened was Axl had accused Irving Azoff of trying to sabotage the current lineup of Guns N' Roses, so he'd be forced to reunite with the former members. And basically Irving Azoff claimed that Axl made an oral agreement with them stating that he would give his manager some of their tour profits. And then in 2011 the lawsuit was settled, and basically Guns N' Roses toured as part of the agreement, and Irving Azoff would get a share of those touring profits. And Axl also accused Irving Azoff of lying about a possible tour package that would have seen Guns N' Roses and Van Halen that would have been on the same ticket. And then Axl also claimed that Irving Azoff had also bungled the promotion of the band's album Chinese Democracy. So I'll probably do a true story episode on this lawsuit and the battle that happened. But that does it for today's news, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts, comment down below, and I'll be happy to read your comments and respond to them. And please like the video if you enjoyed what you saw today. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for all things related to Guns N' Roses. And go like me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to my social media channels are down below. If you follow me on Twitter, I will gladly follow you guys back. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a great day. Take care.